Hello there guys, and welcome to another Forza Horizon 5 video on my channel. It is the start of a brand new month in Horizon 5, and that is the month of Apex Allstars, and we are in the summer wet season of Apex Allstars, which is series 33 in Forza Horizon 5. And in this video I am back with another full festival playlist walkthrough with the usual seasonal advice containing all you need to know before tackling this week's challenges, and there's quite a lot of them. There's a total of 75 points available in the whole season. We've got the Forzathon events, the season events, we've got a pretty good challenges section, we've got 4 monthly rivals, and of course we've got the expansion events as well, and we'll be covering every single one of those challenges and events in this week's video. So there will be nothing missed. You can use the chapters in the description if you're looking for anything specific. They will be usually up within 24 hours of upload, thanks to one of my channel moderators, Dobre, for doing that every week. But without any further ado, we will be cracking on, and we'll be taking a look at the rewards. Of course, we'll be working through, after we've done that, in chronological order of the festival playlist for the summer season. But like I said, we'll be taking a look at the rewards first, so you know what you're aiming for. We'll be looking at the season rewards and also the series rewards, just as a starting point for today's video. But also, before we start, I'd like to thank you for joining my virtual community here on Shylo Gaming. It's greatly appreciated, and it's nice to have you here. If you are new, you can find all of my other videos, live streams, and community posts on my channel. They can maybe help you with some other things. And if you want to see more of these full festival playlist walkthroughs for coming weeks, the rest of series 33 and onwards, then do not hesitate to like and subscribe to the channel. Turn the notifications on so you get notified when I upload or go live next. I usually upload these videos on a Friday or Saturday. Sometimes they're on a Sunday, just depends how life works, to be honest with you. But I do try to get them out as soon as I can. And you can also check the community post section, where there can be important information regarding the content, and there's also some fun things thrown in there as well. So that's a little bit about the channel. Now we'll crack on with the video. Starting off with this week's seasonal rewards for the summer wet season, as I already mentioned, there's a total of 75 points, and within that we have our 20 point and our 40 point rewards. So these rewards are typically, generically, new exclusive with the current update that we're talking about in these videos, or the other hard to find exclusives that are perhaps reappearing from previous updates that are highly sought after by the community. So this week's 20 points reward is another brand new car to the game, and I think all of the cars that are introduced in this month, including the new car pack, which I'll just drop in there as well, are brand new to Forza, or at least brand new to Horizon. I think quite a few of them have appeared in the new Motorsport that's just been released, but they're all brand new to Horizon as far as I'm aware, and quite a lot of them are quite new. It's obviously Apex Allstars as the focus on race cars, and you'll see that throughout, but I don't think there are any recycled cars, which is probably a first for Forza Horizon 5. I don't think we've had a single month where there's been no reused cars added in, so it's a nice step forward. So this 20 point reward is the number 66 Ford GT Le Mans car. Obviously it kind of speaks for itself there. It does look the part as well. And then for 40 points, a car that I didn't realise was actually in the game until I saw this week's playlist, and that is the 2023 Chevrolet Corvette Z06 or Z06, depending on where you are from and how you pronounce it. Obviously we've got the Corvette C8 that was added in at the start of the game as one of the starter cars, but we also saw that in Horizon 4. We've also got the Corvette E-Ray, which has now been added to the auto show with this recent update. So that's another thing about the update in there. So, you know, I kind of forgot that it was in the game. I've never driven it, but nevertheless, it's a very cool car, and it's there for your 40 points reward. Moving over to the series for Apex All-Stars, 75 points each week means that there's a 300 point total for the whole month. And these rewards here are achieved across the whole month, so you obtain points in all 4 seasons. So for example, on a generic note, if you got 20 points in every season, you'll be able to get your 80 point reward, and if you do 40 points every season, you'll be able to get your 160 point reward. But of course that varies, because you may get more on one week and less on the other, so that's just a rough guide. The 80 point reward is another brand new car, and that is the Pro Stock Camaro. Obviously a drag car, doesn't really have a steering wheel, it's just designed to go in a straight line, but very cool nevertheless. And then we have the Hot Wheels Trans Am over on the other side there, which I believe is kind of a take on the Pontiac Trans Am, I think it is, but obviously taken to another level. Both of those are hard to find legendary exclusive cars, and that is all of your rewards for the season of the series. So we can now crack on with the festival playlist, where I'll be offering all of my tips and tricks and also car and tune suggestions for some of the events as well. We begin our chronological section by section work through of this week's festival playlist by first taking a look at the Forzathon section, which covers some hashtag Forzathon events, and that is one Forzathon weekly challenge. We've got the usual 7 Forzathon daily challenges which release across the week, as you can see that most of them are not unlocked yet, and then we also have the Forzathon shop where you can spend your well-earned points, and of course you can earn Forzathon points from the Horizon Arcade as well, which we'll come to in the next section. But before we do, we'll start off with the weekly challenge, which is Prepare, Commit, Belong, and that will be focusing on the McLaren P1. Righty-ho, so this week's Forzathon challenge, like I said, is Prepare, Commit, Belong, and it will earn you 5 points towards the festival playlist, and it'll also earn you some Forzathon points. This will be 80 Forzathon points as standard, and it will double to 160 points, as you can see that I've got there, if you own a La Casa Solariga Playhouse. That house comes free with a VIP pass, if you didn't know that. It also grants you double Forzathon points in every Forzathon related event, including Horizon Arcade, so I definitely recommend that you purchase this house if especially if you like to purchase things in the Forzathon shop, but it's just handy anyway to build up your Forzathon points total. So moving over to the chapters, chapter 1 is Position 1, and it wants you simply to own and drive the 2013 McLaren P1. This car can be purchased in the auto show. It may well be cheaper in the auction house than it is in the auto show. Obviously the auction house prices fluctuate, so that's never set in stone. Obviously, with it being the Forzathon challenge this week, more people will be looking to buy it in the auction, so that could send the prices either way. But nevertheless, one way or the other, you need to own the McLaren P1. Now, you may also choose to put a tune on it if you want to. It's completely optional, but I usually do recommend that you put a tune on the Forzathon cars because it just generally makes your life a bit easier and helps you to complete the challenges quicker. Obviously, some challenges require you to actually spend a certain amount of upgrades on some of the chapters or, whatever. So if it does say that, then of course that would differ. But for this one, you can pop a tune on from the off if you want to. And if you do want to, I've actually got 2 shared, which one of them will be used for one of the chapters and the other will be used for the other chapters. So as we go through, you'll be able to see which tune applies to each. But I'll pop the tunes on screen round about now with the share codes, just so you can see what they're called, what the share codes are. Obviously they're made by me, and throughout this video, unless I state otherwise, all of the tunes that I show, especially in the later events, will be made by me, if you are wondering. So once you're in your McLaren F1, you can move on to Chapter 2, Hybrid Theory, which wants you to earn 3 stars at the Autopista Speed Trap. And that speed trap is located on the highway, and specifically, and I'll drop in another screenshot here, it is just right here, kind of towards the western side of the highway there, and if you approach it from the east, you'll actually be going slightly downhill when you come through the speed trap, maybe gaining a couple of miles an hour, but the 3-star objective is 240 miles an hour, so it's not as high as the one at the other end, which I believe is 270 miles an hour, so it should be fairly easy. You might even be able to do it in the stock F1, I'm not too sure, but if you use my speed trap tune, you will be able to get that far easier, because that is obviously optimised for top speed. So once you earn your 3 stars there, Chapter 3, Winging It, wants you to win a road circuit race, and the specific emphasis there goes on the circuit race, so it can't be a sprint race. But if you filter your map to road racing, like I have just done here, again, another clip or screenshot dropped in there, lots of editing for me tonight, so you can filter your map to road racing. It helps you to spot which ones are road racing. Then you just need to pick one that's a circuit. You can pick any of them, doesn't matter. You can even make a blueprint or use an event lab if you want to. The event labs can be a bit iffy sometimes, but you can use it if you want to. If you are doing a blueprint, I'd recommend that you make sure there's still AI in the race, so it's kind of a legitimate race. And then all you need to do is win it. You can lower the difficulty as well, the driver tar difficulty, even as low as Tourist, that being the bottom difficulty, and that'll make your life easier if you want to do that. It's completely up to you. But either way, win a road circuit race. And then Chapter 4, Race Active, wants you to earn 6 stars at speed zones. So not to be confused with speed traps, and you can eliminate that risk again by filtering your map to speed zones, and then you just need to pick any. Now, of course, the McLaren P1, you're not really going to be picking an off-road speed zone, so you can kind of count them out of the equation. But then if you pick any other that's reasonable within what kind of tune or car you're using, obviously there is the one on the highway if you want to use that one with my top speed tune, or any other that you think is achievable. Obviously, if you get 3 stars twice, you'll only have to do it 2 times, but just get 6 stars at speed zones. It can be the same speed zone, different speed zone, doesn't matter how many runs you need to do. But once you've got a total of 6 stars at speed zones, you'll have completed all of the chapters of the weekly challenge. Prepare, commit, belong, and you'll have yourself 5 points and some Forzathon points. Next up in our primary section is the set of Forzathon daily challenges. There's 7 of these for the week, and they release 1 per day for the entire 7 days of the week. They also each last for 7 days, so 6 of them, with the exception of the first one, will be active until next season as well, that being autumn, meaning you don't necessarily have to rush to complete them every day and or before season change again, except for the first one of the week, which will expire on the same day as season change. So I personally prefer to complete them in batches should I need a few more points for the reward cars. But aside from this, I won't spend too much time on them. They're usually fairly self-explanatory. However, they can sometimes prove a bit taxing, because some of them, they don't work, or the wording's a bit strange, or you don't really know how to get a certain skill perhaps. And should that be the case, you can contact me in the YouTube comments. You can also send me a message on Xbox, gamer tags in the top left, and on Discord my username is the same but with lowercase s for Shylo. So you can contact me asking for any tunes or help that you need with the daily challenges, and that's the same for all the other events as well. If there's anything I haven't covered in this video, then just ask me. I'll be more than happy to help you out, and hopefully you'll be fairly alright with these daily challenges. Finally then, to conclude the first section, we have a little Forzathon shop to look at, where we can spend some of our points. So for the hot deal, as it is called, we have the Porsche 917 number 23 from 1971. I believe that's an auto show car. However, I think it's quite expensive, which kind of explains the 1,000 Forzathon point price tag there. For 600 Forzathon points, we've also got the Mercedes AMG CLK GTR, which is a meta for PR, stunts and some racing. So you may want to buy that if you like leaderboard hunting. We've got a black wrestling mask, which I've never seen before. We've got the Mexican hat dance car horn, which sounds like this. And we've got the black wrestling outfit again, which I've never seen before, all for 75 Forzathon points. If you want to waste them on them, the horns are alright, but the clothes I think are a bit useless, to be fair. But that is your Forzathon shop for the week, expiring at the end of the week. Following on from the first section, Forzathon events, we now have the season events section, which this week contains Horizon Arcade firstly, then we've got the trial as usual. We've got 3 times event labs this week. We've also got 3 times PR stunts, which is a welcome sight. And we've got 2 championships this week, rather than the 4 that we had for the whole of last month. Of course, it is Apex All-Stars, but there's not a big as a focus on the racing side in the festival playlist, so we kind of got more of a balanced festival playlist. So we'll start on the left with the Horizon Arcade. To complete the Horizon Arcade mini-games and earn yourself 3 points plus a bunch of Forzathon points, all you need to do is to complete any Horizon Arcade theme, and that means completing all 3 rounds of the Horizon Arcade. Now, what is Horizon Arcade? Well, if you open up your map in the multiplayer events, you will see Horizon Arcade, and there's always 2 of these circles on the map at any given time. There's the other one there, look. So we've got Wreckage here, and we've got Drift over here. So I believe that always one of them out of the 2 is Drift, and then the other one varies. So we've got Wreckage, there's Air, there's Speed, and there's 1 or 2 others, I think. And all you have to do is wait for it to start. So these start in 4 minutes, and once one starts, there'll be another countdown a couple of minutes later from about 12 minutes So they run every 15 minutes basically, and you have 10 minutes to complete them. There's 3 rounds, and the objective of the round, the scale of it varies depending on how many people are taking part. So if there's only you taking part, you'll have far less to do than if there was 4 or 5 people taking part, if that makes sense. So they scale the objectives based on how many people are involved in the Horizon Arcade, and obviously with there being that many of them, you tend to only get a couple of people completing them. So you basically just got to pick either of them, get in a suitable car and complete all 3 rounds. There's no specific car that you have to use, and they're usually quite easy. Like I said, they vary, so you should hopefully be able to get it completed within the 10 minutes, and that is simply all you need to do for this Horizon Arcade. We now move on to what is sometimes the first event of the season section, but of course isn't this time because of the Horizon Arcade, and that is the trial. This week is Mini Mustang Mix-Up. You might be able to guess what the restriction is from that and also the picture there. But it will get you 10 points towards your playlist, and it'll also get you Shelby Cobra 427, which is a pretty decent reward, to be fair. It's a legendary car. And the restriction is B-Class 1960s Mini versus Mustang. So, of course, it can be any Mini or it can be any Ford Mustang, but it must be from the 1960s and it must be tuned to B-Class. It can be tuned up to B-Class. The car doesn't have to start in B-Class. And to be fair, I don't think there is a 60s Mini that starts in B-Class anyway. So you probably end up using the Mr. Bean Mini, which of course starts in D-Class, but you can tune it up to B-Class to make it eligible for the event. And I would recommend that you do pick a tuned car for the trial, more so than perhaps the other championships and event labs, because basically the way it works is a co-op team system where you are part of a team of up to 6 players. It can be randoms or it can be part of a convoy. The convoy can only be 6 people though, of course, to enter the event, rather than the usual convoy maximum of 12. And you're up against a team of 6 unbeatable difficulty driver tars. Of course they are beatable, but that's just a way of, what they called it. Although sometimes they do cheat, to be fair. Let's be realistic about it. And you basically have the aim of defeating the driver tars by overtaking them, getting points for overtaking them. You get 100 points for every overtake and 50 points for whoever's 50 points bonus, should I say, for anybody who's in first. But of course, be warned that the driver tars get points for overtaking you. Therefore, it takes a team effort to overhaul the points of the driver tars and win. And it's a best of 3 set of races. So first team to 2 wins out of the 3 will win the overall event. And that's why I would recommend that you bring a tuned car. Now, as per last week, I think it worked quite well. It reduced my waffling a bit, and it made the video a bit shorter, especially to compensate for the waffle at the start of the video as usual. So what I will do is, instead of me heading over to the garage and talking you through it, I'll just include the screenshots of the relevant cars, so the Minis and Mustangs in this case, and I'll just do a short voiceover of anything I've got to say about those cars, and that's what we'll do for the rest of the events as well. So I will roll the screenshots so you can see what cars I've got for this. So I have tried to cover all bases here with 1 Mustang and 1 Mini for you. Next up on the agenda is a mini selection of community-based event labs that the developers have chosen to feature in this week's festival playlist. There are 3 of them, as I mentioned in the intro to the section. And to be fair to the developers, the choices lately have been reasonable. I'll have to give them that. There's been pretty good consistency with some really good creators, so hopefully these ones will be good as well. I'm sure that they will be. So the first one this week comes from JohnBoy1782, and it is Italia 458 Racetrack, which is a racetrack based on the shape of a Ferrari 458, which sounds interesting, and created for Club Italia 458, whoever they are, but props to them, give them a little shout out. So that will get you 3 points and a super wheel spin once you've completed it. Obviously event labs are not really typical races, so there aren't really any other restrictions other than the car restriction, which, as you might suggest from the event name and description, is the model Ferrari 458. So there's the 458 Italia, there's the 458 Speciale. I don't think there's any others. But it is you need to tune your 458 to the top of S1 class, or it just needs to be somewhere in S1 class. So let's see which of the 458s I have selected for this one. Just the 1458 here, and that is the Italia version. The second event lab of the week is Green River GP, courtesy of Talked Mons, or Talked E-Mons. I'm not really sure how you pronounce that gamer tag. Sorry for butchering it if you do happen to be watching this video, which would be a massive fluke. And this will get you another 3 points, but this time it'll get you perhaps a slightly more desirable reward of the Lotus 311. And this says shift, rev and rip through the hillside before blazing alongside the Mexico Green River. Fast corners, boosted straight, and the beauty of the Green River. It sounds quite decorative, so I'm looking forward to this one. And the restriction for this one is S1 class retro supercars. Make sure you don't pick a modern supercar. That might be a common mistake there. So S1 retro supercars for this one. So once again, we'll head over to my garage screenshots. Just the three for this event lab: the Ferrari Challenge Stradale, the Ford GT, which is rear wheel drive, weird build, and the TVR Cerberus Speed 12, which is kind of off meta. Wrapping up the Event Lab mini-series, we have Jungle Race Circuit from Honda 12, and this one has got quite a desirable reward. It is the legendary rated M12S Warthog CST, plus another 3 points towards your playlist total. So the Jungle Race Circuit features 2 hairpins, a flowing technical section and a long curving straight, and this deep jungle race circuit will have even the most seasoned professionals sweating by the end, so maybe we'll be the judge of that. Nevertheless, the restriction is A-class modern sports cars, and once again you need to make sure that this is modern sports cars and not retro sports cars. Quite a few suggestions with this one. We've got the 2015 TTS, the 2010 TTRS. We've also got the newer 2018 TTRS, a Car Pass exclusive. We've got my pretty good tune on the 2008 Z4 BMW. The 2012 Lotus Exigis, which is supposed to be meta, but it is my tune. Still decent though. And finally, a fairly purist build on the BRZ. We now have some seasonal PR stunts to tackle, which means we've reached the exciting part of the video, maybe for some of you, because that means we will be showing some gameplay of me completing these PR stunts, and with there being 3 of them this week, there is quite a significant chance that I will fail one of them or more. Hopefully I won't, but as you know, if you've watched my channel for a while, there is the tendency sometimes for me to be slightly cocky with my run-ups and end up failing them miserably, but of course I'll always show you the completed version as well, to make sure that it is possible. Of course it's possible, it's just me being a bit silly. But anyway, there's 3 PR stunts this week, so we'll go through what's required of them, and then show you my car screenshots, and then I'll roll some short clips of me completing them. They will be trimmed down because we don't want to waste too much time in the video, but I do like to show them anyway, just so you can see what my run-ups are like. So there's 3 of them. We've got the Arid Hills Speed Trap, the Festival Speed Zone, and the Mountain Pass Speed Zone, all getting you 2 points in a super wheel spin. They also have the same restriction, and that is A-class track toys. Now make sure it's track toys and not extreme track toys. Again, another slightly confusing restriction there, but make sure it's A-class track toys. So let's see which of those I have got for you, and then we'll see me completing them. First off then, a tune by me with the RCF Track Edition. Then we've got 2 stock cars, the Lincoln Co and the MG X Power touring car racers. Moving away from the delights of the department of seasonal PR stunts, which you've just seen me complete, we have 2 seasonal championships to attack. Now these can be completed either in solo or co-op/PvP, although if you do choose to complete with a convoy or in the co-op side of things, I would avoid the PvP option, instead choosing the co-op option, because PvP means that only one of you will receive the reward at the end, rather than all of you in the co-op mode, which is of course better. If you play solo, you'll spawn into free roam after each race, and you're then required to drive or fast travel to each of the other events in that championship. And they will be marked in a white and red colour on your map. So if you see here, the logos are kind of white on red. In the current championship that you're in, it will be red on white. And I will demonstrate that by putting a little screenshot on the screen, just so you can see what I mean. That can help you to identify which ones are actually in your current championship. And you can filter to seasonal events to also help locate these. Basically you just need to complete all of the races if you do it in solo. If you do it in co-op, it'll automatically fast travel you and your teammates to each event, and then aside from that, it'll work the same way as the trial. However, as opposed to the trial, these championships should be locked to highly skilled driver tower difficulty, not unbeatable. So this week's first seasonal championship is called Live Long and Prospera. It will get you 5 points towards the playlist and also a McLaren P1. I didn't notice that before, so of course you need the McLaren P1 for the Forzathon, so you can do this championship first if you so wish to do so and you don't want to spend any credits to get the McLaren P1. So that's a nice little addition there. I've just noticed actually quite a lot of the rewards in this festival playlist are legendary rewards, which is much better than usual, to be fair to the developers. They've actually put some effort into the rewards of this festival playlist. But back on topic, this seasonal championship is based on road racing. And the restriction to follow is S2 class extreme track toys. So this time it is extreme track toys and not the track toys from the PR stunts. So here are the extreme track toys that I have got for you. Just the 3 here in the form of the Bugatti Divo. We've got the Ferrari F40C, and we've also got the Ultimate Evolution, which has got 2 versions of that tune. The second and final seasonal championship of the summer wet season of Series 33 Apex Allstars is Burning Up, which this time is based on street racing. That's the one that includes AI, which, as many of you'll know, I absolutely despise. And the reward for completing this is another 5 points towards your summer festival playlist, and also the legendary reward of the Pagani Zonda R. And the restriction for this Burning Up seasonal championship is A-Class Super Hot Hatch again, not to be confused with regular Hot Hatch or Retro Hot Hatch, so make sure it is a Super Hot Hatch. And I'm going to stop saying Hot Hatch because it sounds really annoying in my northern voice. So let's see which of those I have got for you. Quite a few hot hatches here with the 2009 Focus RS. We've got the newer one, the 2017 Focus RS. Then we've got the Civic Type R, tuned by Dobre, one of my channel mods. We've got the Mercedes A45 AMG. We've got the Mini Cooper, which is front wheel drive, Bone Shaker Destroyer. And then we've got the newest VW Golf. We have now finished the second section of the festival playlist for the summer season, and that is the longest section done, the season events section. We can now move on to the challenges section, and hopefully we can whiz through these latter 3 sections, because combined they are probably the same length as the season section, so hopefully it won't take us as long as the video so far has taken us. So we've got a treasure hunt for this one. We've also got a photo challenge, and we've got an eliminator challenge as well, so we'll jump straight into those. We will of course start with the first challenge of the section, and that is the treasure hunt, which this season is called Lotus Laps. Once you've successfully smashed through the treasure chest, you have to complete the clue first, of course. You'll have earned yourself 3 points towards the playlist and also 250,000 credits to spend on whatever you wish. So for this event, the way I work through this is to primarily take a look at the clue, decipher what you need to do, and then I will complete it myself, complete the treasure challenge myself, and then I will show you the exact location of the chest on the map and in free roam as well, just so you can see where it is. If you're having difficulty finding it, or you just prefer for me to show it to you so you don't have to spend the time finding it. I have found recently though that they have been quite obvious, unless that's just me, I'm not really too sure. But I do have to say as a disclaimer that if you don't want to see the location of the chest once we've been through the clue, I would recommend that you either pause the video and go and find it yourself if you're currently on the game while you're watching this video, or if you're wishing to complete it at a later time, then you can just skip using the chapters to the photo challenge, which will be about a minute after that. In the video, if you don't want to see where it is, basically. So our clue for this treasure hunt is as follows. With 11 in their name and them lacking any doors, win with 1 in rivals and the treasure will be yours. I would say this is one of the easiest clues because it's well, it's in plain English. Sometimes they're a bit complicated with language-wise, but I would say that you basically need to hop in any Lotus 11. I will pop screenshots of the ones that are in the game up on the screen for you, so you can see which Lotus 11s are available. And then you need to basically win or beat a ghost in rivals with your Lotus 11, whichever you choose. And because it doesn't specify, I would say it can be in any class. It can be stock or tuned. I will of course test that when I complete it myself in a minute. But you basically just need to enter any rivals event. You're probably going to be picking a road or street racing given the car. And then you just need to pick whatever class your car is tuned to. Set a rival, maybe one that's quite slow, so that you make sure you beat them if you want to make your life easier. And then you just need to beat that rival. Obviously, if you choose to do a lapped rivals, you can just go round and round until you beat them. If you do a sprint one, you'll have to restart if you don't beat them, and so on. And once you've beaten it, you'll get a message pop up on your screen that says Treasure Challenge completed. You can then pop back to this icon in the festival playlist, and it will have changed to display an image of the rough location of the chest to give you an extra hint. And the treasure chest itself will be somewhere within the orange circle that also simultaneously pops up on your map when you get that prompt. And basically it works in the same way as a barn find. If you know how they work, then that is how the treasure hunts work. But of course, as I said, I'll take you to the exact location once we've done that, if you are looking to see where it is. So I'll go and complete it now, and then we'll see where it is. Okay then, so you've seen your clue and you know that we are somewhere within this circle here. You've seen a little clue of where it will be. So where exactly is it? Well, as you can see, I'm almost smack bang in the middle of the circle, and right on the end of the beach we can see the treasure chest here. There's a couple of these stacks in the water, and there's this little arch, and just here right on the edge by the water we have the treasure chest location. Smash through the chest with a bit more speed than that, and you'll get yourself your reward of 250,000 credits and 3 points towards the festival playlist. Succeeding that treasure hunt, we now have ourselves the photo challenge, #VoolAtAzul, which will get you 2 points towards the playlist and a Mexican race suit clothing reward. It is clothes, but it's legendary, so I guess we'll take that one. And all you need to do for this is to photograph the 2017 Vool 05RR at the Playa Azul circuit start location. Now, if you don't know where the Playa Azul circuit is, it's in Playa Azul, obviously. But the circuit is right here. Again, another screenshot dropped in there. So lots of editing work once again. And all you need to do is go there, open up photo mode, make sure of course that you're in the Vool, which is pictured there, and that is an auto show car. You can buy it from the auto show. It's a Mexican car as well, obviously. Open up photo mode, take a photo, make sure you got some of the Vool, some of the start location. Obviously there's not going to be any like race things there, although technically I suppose you could enter the race and open up photo mode on the start finish line. It's completely up to you, but you just need to take a photo somewhere around that area with the Vool in it as well, and hopefully that should complete the photo challenge. Advancing to the last challenge of the challenges section, it is the Eliminator Battle Royale, and once again it is the same objective as it has always been in this game, which is finish 30th or better in a round of the Eliminator. Doing so will get you another 2 points towards your playlist count, so fairly easy 2 points if I can say so myself, and it'll also get you the Forza Link reward, Never Tell Me the Odds. If you would like to use that in Eliminator or racing or whatever. I like to change my Forza Link things fairly often as well as the horns, which I vary. So hopefully it should be nice and easy, but basically you just need to enter a round of the Eliminator. You can either do that via the icon in the online tab of your pause menu, or you can head over to the icon on the map, which is kind of in the northeast, and you can enter there. Then you simply need to play the round until you see that the driver's left icon in the top left of your screen displays 30 or less players still in the round. At that point you can play on, make sure you can play on and get eliminated naturally, or you can chance it by quitting out. I still haven't been able to test that yet, so I'm not sure if it still counts. You may run the risk of it invalidating your completion. But like I said, if you just play on and get eliminated naturally, or you may even win, who knows, and then that should guarantee that the challenge is completed. That's basically all you need to do for the Eliminator challenge. The penultimate section of the playlist, which we can now take a look at, is the monthly events section, or you may know it as the monthly rival challenges, and this is obviously Series 33's set of monthly rivals events. Now they are all the classic, if I can say, monthly rivals, so there's no Forza EV rivals in this one, and they're actually all road racing as well, because we've got the Sierra Verde Sprint, the Bola Ocho circuit, the Los Jardines circuit, and the Bahia de Plano circuit. I've probably butchered the pronunciations of all 4 of those, so I do apologise for that. And they will each get you 4 points towards the playlist. I'll explain how those points work in just a second. But yeah, they are all based on road racing, and there's obviously 4 of them, and they are the monthly events, so they cover, as the name suggests, the month. They can be completed in any of the weeks of the month, and you'll only have to complete them once, so whichever season you choose to complete them in, you won't need to do it again unless you want to go back and improve your time. It's completely up to you. Of course, I'll cover them in every video across the month, but if you want to do it this week, we'll go through it now. So the way the points work, like I said, you get 4 points for completing each event, but that's actually the monthly total, so that will be added onto this series total over here on the far left. And then for the playlist, it will be divided by 4, so 4 divided by 4 is obviously 1. My controller has just died. So 4 divided by 4 is 1, which means that you'll get 1 point added on to every week's seasonal total, and then because there's 4 of the events, that will be 16 points added onto the series. Sorry, I'm just changing my batteries here while I'm talking. 16 points added onto the series, and then 4 points added on to each series once you've completed all of them. And you don't necessarily have to complete them all in 1 week. Like I said, you can complete them in whichever week you want, and that can also include completing maybe 1 or 2 of them in this week and then leaving the others till later in the month. It's completely up to how you do it, but the way you actually complete it is just to post a clean lap to complete, as it says here. So that means obviously not flagging your lap. So if you avoid hitting walls or any of the non-destructible objects, using rewind and missing checkpoints, or otherwise getting your car reset, then you'll hopefully be alright, because all of those will flag your lap. That will leave an exclamation mark next to your time, and that means it won't count as it's dirty. So if you just avoid those 3 things and cruise round, you don't necessarily have to beat your rival. And just once you post a clean lap, you can quit out of the event, and it should have turned gold in your festival playlist. We have now reached the latter section of the festival playlist, which means we can round out with the expansion events, namely for the Rally Adventure and the Hot Wheels expansions respectively. So as you might expect, you are required to own both of these expansions to be able to access the respective events, and you must additionally reach a certain point in their career modes to be granted access to these exclusive festival playlist events, which means that you don't just necessarily get granted access to these. You have to play through some of the initial gameplay and story before you can start tackling the weekly events. And if you don't own these expansions and wish to give them a go to be able to complete these, or just in general completing the expansions, you can purchase them as part of the premium add-ons bundle. The expansions also come in an expansions bundle, and I also believe that the Rally Adventure expansion can be purchased on its own if you wish to do so. So we'll quickly run through these events. Now there's a PR stunt and there's a seasonal championship on each expansion. So I'm not going to show the gameplay for the PR stunts, but we will do what we've been doing, showing the screenshots of the cars I've got to suggest once we've run through them as well. So on the Rally Adventure expansion, we've got the Canyon Rush Speed Trap, which will get you 2 points and a super wheel spin. And the restriction is A-Class Alfa Romeo. You may notice that the restriction is also A-Class Alfa Romeo for the Seasonal Championship or Romeo, which is based on like the road racing side of the Rally Adventure. This will get you another 5 points and a car horn reward, Predator Howl. So let's see what Alfa Romeos I've got for you. Just the one here, and that is the Alfa 8C. Moving over to the Hot Wheels expansion, we have got the Frozen Rush Speed Zone, which will get you another 2 points and a super wheel spin. And we've also got Pick Up the Pace, the seasonal championship based on hazard events, which will get you 5 points and a rally fighter. And the restriction for both of these is A-Class pickups and 4x4. So let's see which of those we've got for this final event of the week. To finish then, we've got the electric Ford F-150 Lightning, we've got the 2021 Bronco, one of the starter cars, and we've got a bit of a funky tune on the Hennessy Velociraptor, and finally we've got the old school 73 Range Rover. Well then guys, that rounds out the festival playlist for the summer wet season of Series 33 Apex All-Stars, the first week of this month, and that means also the end of this full festival playlist walkthrough. I sincerely hope that you've enjoyed my guide walking you through all of the events, and I hope that my tips, tricks, tunes and everything else from this video has helped you on your way, or will help you on your way to the completion, getting as many of those 75 points as possible. Hopefully getting your exclusive rewards there as well with the Ford GT and the Corvette Z06. Obviously I'll be back next week with the autumn season, the autumn storm season, where we've got the number 98 Hyundai Elantra N to look at as our exclusive reward. And until then, I very much thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed and would like to see these videos every week, plus other content and live streams, do not hesitate to click the like and subscribe buttons and turn your notifications on for alerts when I next upload or go live. Like I said at the start as well, you can also check the community section, which will contain important info regarding content and the occasional polls and interactive quizzes and stuff like that. So thank you for watching once again, and I will see you next week. Bye!